past 12 weeks, we have been featuring the popular volleybells of the UAAP. So today, it is about time that we shift the spotlight to the men's division of Season 75 and finishing as the #1 seed this year, making it to the Final Four, is this year's host, National University, as they take on the #4 ranked Adamson University Soaring Falcons. That is our first matchup in the Final Four of UAAP Season 75. And in our second game, we have the #2 ranked defending champions, Far Eastern University, as they take on the #3 ranked De La Salle University Green Spikers. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay sa lahat ng mga nanonood ngayon sa Studio 23. Pinabati po namin kayo mula dito sa loob ng makasaysayang Araneta Coliseum. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Anton Rojas, and joining me for this telecast of the Men's Volleyball Final Four, Ivy Remulla.
Yes, a pleasant day to everybody. And gaya po na sabi ng Anton, this is going to be a very action-packed day for the finals here in UAAP Season 75. At gaya na sabi mo, it is the NU Bulldogs going up against the Adamson Falcons.
NU is in the Final Four for just the third time in UAAP history, while Adamson has made it to the Final Four for the 9th time and second straight year. Now, it's been sort of a very competitive year in the men's tournament, just like we have witnessed in the women's tournament, as you can see here in the team standings.
That's right, and here makikita natin how close the standings are, especially for the 4 teams who have made it to the Final Four. Very interesting to note the same numbers of wins and losses that these teams were able to get for this season. At nagkatalo lang yan when we did the quotient system in terms of in the manner of points lang nagkalamangan ng NU and De La Salle University over the 2nd and 4th placer.
National University is in search for their first ever men's volleyball crown in the UAAP, and they started the season red hot, winning their first 8 games, including their first round meeting against the Adamson Soaring Falcons, the team that they are going up against here in the Final Four.
Like we said, this is going to be an interesting game, as in that first meeting, it was NU Bulldogs who emerged as the winner, but in a very, very close fight. Only in 3 sets, and set #1 was really very intense, 26-24. And over here, you can also see the story of what happened in that first meeting. It was actually the NU Bulldogs who dominated with their attacks. They've been excellent in their blocking, but look at how much service aces the Soaring Falcons had given out during that first meeting. But then again, it wasn't enough to defeat the Bulldogs.
Adamson is the 2nd best serving team in the UAAP at the end of the elimination round. That man, Ron J. Galang, was limited to just 13 points in that game. He needs to come up big if Adamson University wants to force a deciding matchup to determine who will advance to the finals of this year's UAAP tournament. But in the second meeting, Ron J. Galang exploded for 29 points, including 27 attacks, as Adamson got back at National University and dealt the Bulldogs their first defeat after 8 straight wins in the UAAP.
It was definitely a sweet revenge for the Soaring Falcons, a convincing 4-set win in that second meeting against the Bulldogs. And it was also another close match, as you can see the ending scores for each of the sets, but the Soaring Falcons was really determined to get that win from the NU Bulldogs.
Now, if National University outgunned Adamson in the first meeting, ngayon naman, ang na-outgun yung National University. As you can see, 68 spikes for Adamson, just 37 for NU.
Yes, this was a very interesting turn of events, and talagang it was a 360-degree turn for the Soaring Falcons. All the spiking power they put up in this game against the NU Bulldogs, very impressive still with their service statistics and their blocking. And although they were able to give out more opponent errors, still they managed to compensate with that impressive statistics in attacking.
Yeah, that was a whopping 50 errors.
Was.
So Adamson somewhat dodged a bullet in that second round meeting against National University. Now, Ivy, let's talk about the players that we should pay attention to here in this Final Four matchup. For National University, they will be led by Peter Denman Torres, the former UAAP Rookie of the Year, the reigning best spiker, the most accurate attacker during UAAP Season 75.
You couldn't have described him any better, Anton. Well, definitely very, very impressive statistics for this player over here. And NU Bulldogs has really relied heavily on Peter Torres. You know, in each game, he has really put on a lot for the Bulldogs.
NU is more of a balanced type of a team in terms of the attackers. They have a lot of players who can contribute. Now, in contrast to that, Adamson can somewhat be a one-man team, as they have the league's best scorer, Ronjay Galang, who has tallied more than 300 points in UAAP Season 75, right ahead of everybody if you take a look at the statistics.
Was another impressive figures here for Ronjay Galang. And like you mentioned, he has been carrying the Soaring Falcons, the whole weight of the team on his shoulders, and definitely a one-man team. But this time around in the Final Four, Ronjay Galang would definitely need the support of the entire team if they want to get to this year's championship.
And so it is set. Our first Final Four matchup in the men's volleyball tournament, as we have the Adamson University Soaring Falcons taking on the #1 seeded National University Bulldogs, the host of UAAP Season 75. That is head coach Domingo Custodio, taking on, of course, National University's coach Dante Alinsunurin. When we come back, we shall begin the Final Four matchup between NU and Adamson. This is the men's volleyball tournament of UAAP Season 75, brought to you by ABS-CBN Sports.
Officiating this match, our first referee, Paji B. Pajarillo, national referee. Our second referee, Bob Malenap, national referee. Now let's meet the starters for both teams. First, for the top notcher in the elimination round with a twice-to-beat advantage. Here are this year's hosts, the National University Bulldogs. Number 12, Vince Maulabnan. Number 14, Berlin Paglinawan. Number 4, Peter Torres. Number 9, team captain Ben Inaudito. Number 18, Edwin Tolentino. Number 11, Rayson Fuentes. Their libero, number 15, Mark Dizon. And the head coach of the Bulldogs is Dante Alinsunurin. And now, starting for the incoming UAAP Season 76 hosts, needing twice to get into the finals. Here are the Adamson Soaring Falcons. Number 5, Michael Sudaria. Number 1, Nico Ramirez. Number 3, Christopher Hardin. Number 4, team captain Ronjay Galang. Number 13, John Competente. Number 11, J.R. Maleon. Their libero is number 6, Gilbert Longabella. And the head coach of the Falcons, Domingo Custodio.
So we have the starters for both National University and Adamson NU, starting off with the usual, Ruben Inaudito, the team captain, Vince Maulabnan, their setter, Peter Torres, the reigning best spiker of the UAAP, Berlin Paglinawan, Edwin Tolentino, Rayson Fuentes, and libero Mark Dizon, while Adamson University going with their team captain, of course, Ronjay Galang, Nico Ramirez, their setter. We have also Armando Maleon, Michael Sudaria, John Competente, libero Gilbert Longavella, excuse me. Once again, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng manonood ngayon sa Studio 23. Handog po namin sa inyo Final Four ng men's volleyball tournament. And one thing that we know about the men's tournament, Ivy. It's very high flying, it's very fast and explosive.
Definitely very fast, and we expect to see shorter rallies here as we take a look or start off here in the set number 1. Usually that's the difference between the women's and the men's volleyball. Shorter rallies ang makikita natin for the men's, and a lot of those really hard and intense spikes.
And for the first time this season, we are here inside the historic Araneta Coliseum. So you can bet that these guys right here on the floor right now are pumped and ready to bring glory to their respective schools.
Well, definitely, and we are already at the stage of the tournament wherein we've already identified the final 4 hopefuls for this year's championship crown.
Well, of course, for the first time in the history of the school, National University finished as the number 1 seed in the Final 4, Ivy. So, what a way for NU to barge into that top of the team standings, being the host this year.
That's right, and you know, I think from the intensity that you can see and how they play, they do really deserve to be in that number 1 spot.
And this is one of the combinations that we have to watch out for in this game, that tandem of Vince Mangulabnan and Peter Torres.
Peter Torres, as you've mentioned earlier, considered to be the number 1 spiker here in the league.
And look at that. Peter Torres loves that quick attack, and that is why he is the most accurate scorer in the UAAP. Again, the combination, Mangulabnan to Peter Torres. Easy does it. 4-1. National University off to a hot start. Back set. Ronjay Galang. He is the man to look out for from the Adamson side.
And that goes off the block. You can see how high, you know, these players jump. You know, if you're watching live, on the TV, you can already see the high leaps. You know, you can already see how they are able to suspend themselves in mid-air, yung hang time. But when you watch them live, you can really see how light they are when they move around the court.
5-2, National University. Although they were tied and had the same record as FEU at the end of the elimination round, 12 wins and only 2 defeats, they had the higher quotient, and that is why they finished as the number 1 seed, Ivy.
That's right. So that's what we mentioned at the top of the coverage. We have a very interesting win-loss record for the top 4 teams that went here for the Final 4 for the men's division.
And this season could be somewhat of a changing of the guard. We could be witnesses to that happening, because gone is UST for the Final 4.
Yes.
After UST being a fixture and being one of the champions since in the Final 4 era, winning 9 championships out of the 18 years in the Final 4 era, they are gone from the Final 4. So it's kind of unusual to not see UST make the Final 4 of the men's tournament.
That's right, and as you've mentioned, you know, UST has always been known to be one of the powerhouses, especially in the men's division. So I am sure a lot of volleyball fans were quite surprised that the UST men's team did not make it here in the Final 4.
UST, of course, lost MVP Jason Ramos, setter Kerr Ukang, and libero Paul Doloyras. So those are big names gone from the lineup, and it is understandable that UST was not able to make it to the Final 4, as the other teams have bumped up their rosters as well.
But we would probably expect UST to come back for next season.
8-3, National University off to a hot start. Back with more men's volleyball action when we return. UAAP Season 75 Men's Volleyball Final 4. Handog sa inyo ng ABS-CBN Sports. What a block by Rayson Fuentes of National University. One of the best blockers in the league so far, has tallied a total of 36 blocks. He is the best blocker on the NU side this year. Mangulabnan sets it to the back throat of the captain, Ruben Minaldito. Violation there.
So Minaldito is a backliner. Of course, as we all know, cannot cross over the attack line. There you go. Lucky break for Adamson here.
Adamson just has to settle down. They are the more experienced team when it comes to playing in the Final Four. They were in the Final Four last year, losing against the University of Santo Tomas 3-1 in just one game. Of course, this year it is NU with a twice-to-beat advantage. Nico Ramirez sets it up. It goes to the back row. Fuentes now.
So that goes outside.
That's
The
out.
point goes to Adamson.
Berlin Paglinawan.
The serve, Armando J.R. Maleon Jr.
J.R. Maleon, the best blocker on the Adamson side with a total of 31 blocks. A joust at the top and a snare down by Vince Mangulabnan.
Let's take a look at that last play. It was an excellent read.
And Mangulabnan had to turn 180 degrees to be able to win that joust.
Imagine the hang time of these players. Mangulabnan set up quick.
So Daria now.
That was blocked.
Adamson.
And a violation called up against NU for hitting the antenna. Is that called outside?
Let's take a look at it one
Yeah.
more time. Michael Sodaria.
Well, the referees called that it hit the antenna after it hit the hand of the blocker. Point is awarded to the Soaring Falcons. Open hit. That was wide. That was a good decoy there for the play.
You always have to watch Torres. And good job there by Mangulabnan to set it up to Paglinawan. Ramirez sets it up. Ron J. Galang.
Galang with a cross-court hit. Right at the corner.
Ron J. Galang.
Right in between the two blockers. Actually, it went in between the hands of Torres.
The most fearsome attacker in the UAAP. The high-flying Ron J. Galang. NU has to check him just like they did in the first round meeting where they limited him to just 13 points. Galang adjusting in the air.
Ron J. Galang.
And look at this. Look at the hang time. Look at him deciding how to tip it over.
Very smart player. And it's no wonder that he is the #1 attacker here in the league.
Tallying a total of 301 points, including 360 spikes. But a service error there by setter Nico Ramirez.
At this point, the Soaring Falcons would have to be careful with the errors they have committed. I think that's the second or third service error.
Remember, they had 50 in the second round meeting. And they won that game.
Exactly. Imagine if it had not been for that errors, it could have been a 3-setter match.
Yeah. Obviously, this is the Final Four, and they cannot afford to commit that many errors at this important stage of the tournament. All right, let's try to listen into the huddle of Coach Domingo Custodio.
Okay. Sige. Berg. Oo, layo mo. Nandito ka sa ano. Nandito ka. Paano yun? Isa lang. Mike. Sige. Isin ka dyan. Bibigyan ka ng bola dyan.
Alright. So Coach Domingo is shouting out individual instructions to the players inside. But, you know, what he really wanted is for all of the players to be really on guard with their position. So sinasabi niya mag-receive, bibigyan ka ng bola dyan. Probably coach has already has identified kung saan dinadala ng Bulldogs ang kanilang mga atake.
And a lot of those attacks are from the middle, courtesy of Peter Torres, but
Galang making use of the blockers of the Bulldogs to score a point for Adamson. Actually, if you notice, the blocking of the Bulldogs today has been very strong. Most of the points they have committed here in the first part of set number 1 was mostly through their blocking.
Well, they have a lot of good blockers on the team. Fuentes, Torres, and the reigning best blocker in the UAAP, the team captain, Ruben Inaudito.
And in the meantime, here it's Galang once again soaring high and using the blockers to their advantage. That went outside to another point for the soaring Falcons.
Galang can attack from virtually anywhere on the court. On the previous rally, he attacked from the weak side that time, going back to the strong side, and now the Falcons are rolling.
Excellent block from the Falcons. And the Bulldogs unable to cover that one. (13-11). After a flat start, Adamson seemingly getting their bearings together, but Torres. Torres. Oh, you gotta love that attitude.
Torres asking, where's the block? From the Adamson side, nobody there to stop Torres.
And now Torres at the service line.
Now easily we can see how effective Torres is. Just a couple of moments into this matchup.
Violation called up against Adamson. Terrific violation against Ramirez. Oh, the ball stayed too long in his hands.
Torres again to serve for National University. Ramirez sets it up.
That's gotta hurt. I think it hit the head of Inaudito.
Competente. Trying to get into the heads of the Bulldogs as well.
Well, as we've mentioned, Galang would need a lot of support from the team right now. I would suppose that NU has already eyed him.
Yeah.
So most of the defense has really been focused on Galang. So this is opportunity for the other members of the Soaring Falcons to really step up.
Well, if we're going to look at who could possibly contribute from the Adamson side, the second best scorer, Armando Maleon, averaging a little over 11 points per game. Rodolfo Jardin, another player to watch out for, 7.6 points per outing, and John Competente as well. But the blueprint for National University has been stop Ronche Galang, we get the victory. Just like they did in the first round meeting, limiting Galang to just 13 points.
Right, but it looks like the other members of the Soaring Falcons, they're really on their toes today, contributing in the scoreboard for the team. Board reception now for Bulldogs.
Ramirez sets it up. Uh-oh. Maleon is down. Held on to his knee. Maleon is limping, Ivy.
Let's see if he's okay. It doesn't seem like he wants out.
He may have tweaked his ankle a little bit. He's stomping on it.
Let's see if that fall would affect how he would be playing here. He's still in the second rotation at the front line. Oh, that goes outside.
Galang apologizes. So, as we head into the second technical timeout, National University just up by a solitary point. We'll be back. Opening after this NU and Adamson matchup, we have the number 3 ranked De La Salle University Green Spikers, who are out for revenge against the defending champions Far Eastern University, of course, led by their head coach, George Pascua. Now remember, last year, it was a controversial ending in the Final Four matchup between FEU and LaSalle. It went to a do-or-die game, and Coach Sammy Aguilar was very unhappy with how that deciding game turned out. So LaSalle out for revenge today against FEU. And the big question is the condition of Petrus de Ocampo. He injured his knee in the last game of the elimination round against National University. So we will see whether de Ocampo will suit up for FEU following this matchup.
Definitely a game to watch for. And a lot of teams would like to take their chance now. Maraming gustong bumawi. And just like the Soaring Falcons now, definitely gustong bumawi dito sa Bulldogs. And don't look now, Anton, but the Soaring Falcons are already in the lead, 16-17.
Yeah, they seem to have gotten their bearings, and like you said, Ivy, you notice that it's not just a one-man show for Adamson. The other players are contributing.
That's right, but at this point, again, just to emphasize what the Soaring Falcons probably would need to work on would be to minimize the errors. They've had a couple of those service errors, and really can't get over the numbers of the 50 errors in the last game.
50 errors, yet they still managed to win. But they really outgunned National University in that game. Imagine 68 spikes for Adamson as compared to just 37 for NU.
A very big margin. Galang sends that away.
Now, how important, Ivy, is this first set for both these squads?
Well, definitely, whoever wins the first set usually sets the momentum. You clearly, psychologically, more importantly, you have the advantage over the other team.
Now, we know that National University has that twice-to-beat advantage. So, right now, can we say that the pressure is on Adamson to take the first set?
Definitely, it is on. The pressure is on Adamson because if we take a look at things, NU basically, they have a clear advantage of having the opportunity. They can still lose one game. While Adamson, they should win twice. So it's more pressure really for the Soaring Falcons.
But again, it is Adamson who owns that experience in the Final Four, because this is the first time since 2006 that National University has returned to this stage of the UAAP men's volleyball tournament.
But that's actually an interesting point as well, being the more experienced team appearing in the finals. They've been used to it appearing in the finals, so the pressure should be something that they're used to already. So this time a free ball is given by Adamson.
Molabnan sets it up for a quick attack to Fuentes.
Blockers of the Soaring Falcons too late to defend that attack. It was a good play from Rayson Fuentes.
Substitution for Coach Dante Alinsunurin. Rayson Baisak checks into this matchup. 20 serving 18. Bulldogs on top. They are the #1 ranked team here in the Final Four. Drop ball works for the Falcons.
And that's Rodolfo Hardin. Simply placed shot, well read on the hole. He found the hole in the defense of the Bulldogs.
Letting that ball land right on the line. Now, Coach Domingo Custodio makes his adjustment and sends in John Malyapre.
It's John Malyapre, third-year student from Bicol University College of Education. Malayong pinanggalingan.
Yeah.
All the way here to Manila.
Mangulabnan sets it up to Peter Torres. And why not?
And Peter Torres saying, "This is my play. Ito ang fight ko." You gotta love the reaction afterwards. Only one player. There you go. Ito play ko eh. Di mo ba nakikita? Oh, Torres getting a little warning from the referee. He's really into the game, you know. You can see, I mean, the body language, you can see he really wants to lead the Bulldogs here in this game.
He's trying to intimidate the Adamson side.
But, you know, intimidation, psychological, that's one of the best ways also, you know. You try to take advantage of your opponent. And you have this mga Saiwar, that's what they call it.
Kita nyo lang, Jed, pinasok ka para to receive, ha? Ha? Ayos. Bert,
Go!
ano ba yung bola, oh? Kaya pa yun, eh. Kaya pa yun, oh. Katulala ka kasi. Okay, go, ha? Tatlo, ilan? Tatlo, ha? Tatlo.
Coach Custodio just trying to wake up his players, making sure that this first set will not slip away as National University is closing in on taking it.
And the Soaring Falcons, I think what they have to do at this point is just to make sure they cover all areas, you know, in their defense. Service now, good reception.
Ramirez sets it up. Galang, nothing there. Popped up by Longavela. One more time. Ronje! And who was at the other side? Torres and Paglinawan.
Good block from the Bulldogs. And again, I think it was already expected that the Falcons will be going to Galang for that series of attacks. Once again, they go to Galang, who drops it.
Making the adjustment, but the coverage for NU was there. Longavela was there for the Adamson side.
Well, that makes it to the line. Longavela avoided it, thinking that would go outside. Let's take a look at that last attack. It was a very long ball, but definitely inside. I think Longavela was, you know, masyado siyang pasok eh. So he miscalculated that one.
So National University has arrived at the set point, but service error there by Vince Mangolabnan.
No room for errors now for the Soaring Falcons. This is just 4 points away. So they can still tie it up for the Bulldogs. Good serve.
Here comes Torres. Nothing there yet.
Oh, good block!
And the finger wag.
And that is a combination of Hardin and Competente, if I'm not mistaken.
And now let's go to the NU side.
Magandang receive lang. Ituloy mo. Ha? Okay? Hey, gagawin ka, ha? Mag-receive ka lang. Ituloy mo lang, patakbuhin mo. Ikaw naman ang mag-receive, pre. Wala tayong ibang gagawin dyan kundi mag-receive lang tayo. Pag magandang receive natin, baka offense tayo ng maayos. Okay? Pwede yan, ha? O, sige, let's go.
And now it is the turn of NU head coach Dante Alinsunurin to wake up his players as they are already within a point of taking the first set. And you told me before this game that Coach Dante is actually an Adamson alumnus.
That's right. He used to play for Adamson before, so that would be that's probably interesting. You know, knowing how the team works, or how they practice, or how they train. Probably a violation called against the Bulldogs. I think it's a crossing violation, if I'm not mistaken. So another point goes to the Soaring Falcons. 2 points away from tying up this set.
24-22. Torres just smiling. He wants this one. Mangolabnan gets it to Peter Torres.
And that's it. Finishing set number 1.
Just another day in the office for him. National University draws first blood here in the Final Four. They take the first set against Adamson 25-22. You're watching our exclusive ABS-CBN sports coverage of UAAP Season 75. It is the men's volleyball Final Four. Set number 2 coming up. Keep it right here on Studio 23. Of ABS-CBN sports coverage of UAAP Season 75, and today we are featuring
the men's volleyball Final Four. And in the first set, #1 ranked National University took it against Adamson University 25-22.
It was a clear domination for the Bulldogs in the first part of the set #1. But then towards the middle of the set, it was a wake-up call for the Soaring Falcons. And everybody basically contributed, helping support Ron Galang to try and win set #1. But then the Bulldogs, they didn't like it, the fact that the Soaring Falcons managed to catch up. And it was the blocking and the impressive attack of the Bulldogs which sealed the deal for set #1.
And eventually, Peter Torres finished the job to give his squad the set 1 victory. You see the swagger of the man to watch from the Bulldogs side, Peter Denman Torres.
So it will be interesting to see what kind of adjustment Adamson will be making coming into the second set. And from what we've seen in set #1, a lot of loose ends in the defense of Adamson. Basically, the Bulldogs have been very successful, even targeting certain players, for that faulty reception.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us for this exclusive ABS-CBN Sports coverage of men's volleyball Final Four. Before we can at Don Rojas kasama si Ivy Remulla, greeting you from inside the historic Araneta Coliseum. First time we are featuring the games here at this venue, Ivy.
That's right, and we can accommodate more fans, to watch all the volleyball action live.
What a big year it has been for volleyball, not just in the women's tournament, but in the men's tournament as well, as we showed you how close the race to the Final Four was, ending up with last year's runner-up UST not making it.
That was quite a surprise, for all the volleyball enthusiasts. And Ron Galang once again eyeing that open spot in the defense of the Bulldogs.
Ron J. Galang with so many ways to attack and convert points, deciding to go with that drop ball that time to confuse the defense of NU.
Good cover. They go to Galang once again. On Galang, defended well by the Bulldogs, and that hit was outside.
Now, they've been going to Galang early on here, almost exclusively talking about Adamson. I get the feeling that Galang wants to take over this game here in the second set.
It could be, and again, reading the body language of Galang, he is really intent and is playing very, very well. Oh, that was a good play. Galang was too late for that block.
That ball was hit with bad intentions.
Let's take a look at that hit from Torres. Only one blocker for Torres.
Now, when you have such an exceptional player on the other side, in the form of Ron J. Galang, and you're Peter Torres, you've got to show that, hey, I can pile up the points as well.
But in the meantime, Galang scores. That was an error from Galang.
They've been going to him almost exclusively here in this second set.
And you can actually see that the Bulldogs have already we're actually anticipating already the attacks to be given to Galang. The blockers already in position, trying to defend his attack. Finally, that was an attempt that has been done more than once. This time, Ramirez successful. Drop shot, nobody there for the Bulldogs to save that.
Now we have such crafty setters in the men's tournament, and we've witnessed them the past couple of years. Petros de Ocampo of UST, Nico Ramirez showing us his version of that surprise drop ball a while ago.
And Adamson leading here at the start of set number 2. Your score is 4-2. Good serve. That was a poor reception for the Bulldogs. Torres still makes something out of it.
Point for the Bulldogs.
Torres is pumped. He wants to lead his team to the finals. All they have to do is win 2 more sets to take this game.
Once again, it is the coverage for the floor defense of Adamson. Oh, a solid block there from Galang, and that is Fuentes and Tolentino.
What a thunderous block there, denying the league's top scorer, Ron J. Galang.
That was a really thunderous block there.
I'd like to apologize. It is Peter Denmar Torres and not Peter Denman. It's Peter Denmar.
Point
Yeah,
for National Youth.
from Leyte National High School.
Timeout for the Adamson Falcons.
Error yan, no? Lahat error yan. Ginawa nyo error yan, no? Lumamangkay na kayo ng dalawa, oh. Tinapon nyo na naman, eh.
Error nyo lang.
Labang pa ng isa.
Hindi kayo makareceive na maayos.
Nico! Ayusin mo,
Tapos
Nico!
yung overreach sa atin, kinakalimutan nyo. Oy, malaki
Nico!
kalaban nyo, ha? Kailangan nyo
Ayos, Nico!
kumoperate. Ha? Tara,
Bert,
pare!
Bert, Bert, Bert,
Stop,
Bert,
stop,
stop.
stop.
Okay, go, go.
Again, Coach Custodio is just trying to wake up his players. Adamson was already off to a hot start, and then NU scoring 3 straight points.
Right, and I think Adamson should try to have more variations, especially in their attack. The Bulldogs have already been anticipating that all the sets will be directed to Galang, and like I mentioned earlier, in fact, the blockers have already been waiting or anticipating in their position up against Galang.
That was beyond the antenna, actually.
Seven outside. Take a look at that hit from Galang
And look, Galang is going to land head first into the
to the pole.
Yeah, the post. Good thing they have that cushion there. We've seen a lot of unfortunate incidents wherein players get accidents and land into some of the parts of the court. I remember Petrus de Ocampo last year landing at the railings at the side of the arena in San Juan.
Torres still at the service line. But that was poor reception. But still the Falcons managed to save that. Oh, a quick attack. Poor reception once again at the back row.
First technical timeout.
Fuentes gets that point to go for National University, and they have pulled away. They are now up 8-4 here in this Final Four matchup. Representative of Adamson University and the UAAP board, and they will get set to host the volleyball tournament next year, UAAP season 76. But congratulations to National University for a successful year, a record-breaking year in the history of volleyball. And congratulations to them also for really improving their sports programs. A lot of their teams making it to the finals. We see the continued improvement of this National University sports program. Even the basketball team making it to the Final Four this year. Men's badminton team, a powerhouse as well. The champions. And even in baseball, the defending champions, National University. Tolentino gets denied. But it goes out, so a point for NU.
The Falcons here are having a problem with their plays. There's been successive plays already that, it seems that the setter and the attackers cannot meet or have not met.
Now, Coach Custodio has brought out Nico Ramirez, so it is now backup setter Kenneth Arante who will set up the plays for the Soaring Falcons. Now, let's see if they can give NU a different look.
Rodolfo Hardin for the serve. Combination play. That was blocked.
Mangulabnan, back set to Ruben Inaudito, the captain. Nothing there. Oh!
That was miscalculation from the Bulldogs. Point now goes to the Soaring Falcons. Rodolfo Hardin still at the service line. Nice serve. A violation called against the Bulldogs, lifting violation. They were trying to contest the call.
So Adamson once again creeping up and trying to remain within striking distance here of National University.
Oh, excellent executed attack. That's a one-handed set complemented by Fuentes. It was a good running hit.
We see the craftiness of for the Rookie of the Year last year. Vince Mangulabnan.
Outside. Mangulabnan has actually done a lot for, NU.
He's set to be awarded with the Best Setter award at the end of this tournament, but obviously they have their eyes on the prize, wanting to capture their first ever UAAP men's volleyball crown. Paglinawan.
Soft tap there. Paglinawan finds the hole in the middle of the floor defense for Adamson. It wasn't actually the hardest of hits, but he just knew where to bring the ball.
And not even two-time best digger Gilbert Longavela able to cover that one.
Point goes to Adamson. A net violation error was called up against National University Bulldogs.
9 serving 12. You're watching our exclusive ABS-CBN sports coverage of the men's volleyball tournament of UAAP Season 75. Mangulabnan sets it up. Paglinawan again goes for that cross-court shot. And Longavela doesn't seem to be himself today, Ivy.
I would have to agree. You know, he has actually let go of a lot of attacks already from National University.
Remember, this is the two-time reigning best digger of the league.
That goes inside. Oh, a touch from, there's a touch from the blocker as called in by the referee. Of course, their first referee had a very good view of that hit.
The officials discussing it.
Check ball was called, so the point goes to Adamson. At the service line now is number 11, Armando Malion.
Second best scorer on the team for the Soaring Falcons. Paglinawan once again.
And that goes outside. A home run there from Paglinawan.
We're seeing a lot more sets for the other players aside from Torres here on the NU side. But like we said at the top of the coverage, NU is more of a balanced team in terms of the way they can attack an opponent. But right now, Adamson also showing that at times they can have balance as well.
And at that last play, it was Sodaria who court for Adamson. Powerful open hitter.
Looks like the adjustment by Coach Custodio is paying off, bringing in Kenneth Arante, backup setter. Really now distributing the ball to almost all the players of Adamson, but Torres once again.
That was off the block.
Serving 12. Berlin Paglinawan. Arante sets it up. Galang from the back row.
And that was outside off the block. And as you've mentioned, Anton, Galang can hit from actually anywhere inside the court.
And now Adamson has come to within one.
Galang with a block. You've seen the Bulldogs here. They've been giving out receptions where they're a bit too close to the net, almost already over the net.
So once again, just like in the first set, Adamson University falling behind and then tying things up and taking the lead.
Grab the lead.
Tolentino sent that outside. No snap of the wrist for that attack. It's still Michael Sudari at the service line. Oh, you would expect that they go to Torres. Excellent setup there by, of course, Mangulapnan. Basically just handing the ball over to Torres. But they have a very good, combination.
Peter Torres with the success rate of over 61%.
Oh, Galang with another drop shot.
And now Adamson University has gotten the crowd into it as they are on top, 16-15. Adamson University taking the lead here in set number 2. Ronjay Galang adjusting, showing us the many ways he can attack an opponent, that time going for the open spot. Arante has done a good job coming in the place of starting setter Nico Ramirez.
Good block from Adamson. A quick attack off the block.
And Torres pointing to the side of Galang.
Competente. Torres managed to save that.
NU is faltering here in the second set, Ivy.
That's right. They have been committing their own share of errors. It's more of the errors committed by the Bulldogs rather than the points, really, that have been scored by Adamson.
National University, a team that has only lost twice here in the UAAP. The first time against Adamson, the second time against FEU. Somehow that ball makes it across. Galang. Drop ball
shot.
once again. Popped up. A joust at the top. It is won by Adamson.
And you struggling here. Seems like they lost their bearings for a while.
Timeout, National
Now, Coach
University.
Dante Alinsunurin calls for time.
Ben, ano ka ginagawa natin? Paikutin mo, paikutin mo, paikutin mo. Hindi po pwede nang luwas-labas. Paikutin mo. Kailangan maka-receive. May receive naman tayo. Agresibo, hindi tayo. Wala nang agresibo natin eh. Kuya, let's go, kuya! Paikutin mo. Labas-labas. Hanggat maaari, bigyan mo ng bigyan ng Alam mo, maka-receive lang tayo. Maka-receive lang tayo. Sige ha, dahan-dahan lang tayo. Okay, mamatay yung dalawa. Sige.
Alright, now for the Bulldogs, Coach Dante instructing more of the instruction is basically for the setter. What he wants is that more combinations there. He probably sees that the blockers of Adamson have already, they've already read the plays. It's all just in the outside hit. So they would need to have the blockers move. Another free ball given out by National University. Combination play. And that's off the block. Competente off the hands of Tolentino.
Coach Dante also asking for good receptions. National University unable to respond. And now they are down by 4.
I think, Arante's entry inside for Adamson really made a big difference.
Wait a minute.
A violation called in against Adamson, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Referee trying to clarify this one.
The referee was saying that Arante was beyond the sideline.
Yes, that's right.
That could be a tough break for the soaring Falcons, Ivy.
You can see the upset look on Coach Domingo Custodio's face. Let's take a look at that again. He was indeed already outside. If you take a look at it, actually, it was a very, very small margin, probably just 1 or 2 inches out, but the very sharp eyes from our linesman.
Yeah, as soon as Arante went up to serve that ball, already raised that red flag. And now NU has gained momentum, Ivy.
But still, Adamson is in the lead. So let's see if Adamson can still control and maintain the lead in this match. Mangulapnan for the serve.
Arante. High back set to Gala.
Off the block. Ronjay Galang continuing to do the damage here for Adamson.
Adamson hoping to pull away here.
A missed reception there for NU. A free ball given. Let's see what Adamson does with this one. It's a quick attack, but good blocking there from Fuentes.
And Fuentes taunting here.
Jason Fuentes, number 4, ranked number 4 best blocker here in season 75.
And he is the 4th best scorer on the team, averaging 9.8. But among his teammates, he has tallied the most block points in the league. On his team, excuse me, among his teammates with 36 block points. Ronjay Galang to serve now for the soaring Falcons. He's had a good second set.
Good serve. A poor reception from NU.
Paglinawan.
Once again, if that cross-court hit at that corner area there.
We rarely see Paglinawan go down the line. It's normally a cross-court hit for him. Now, Coach Alin Sunurin making some adjustments. Padua in the game, along with Baisak, John Paul Padua.
Referee calling out the team captains of both teams. We're just making sure that still playing with this good with spirit of sportsmanship here, and looks like everything's no bad feelings for both of these players.
Well, there have been a lot of taunting.
Warning on both Adamson and National U for improper conduct. That's misconduct on both teams.
Well, from where we're sitting, we can't hear exactly what they're barking or the words that they're directing to the other side of the net, but we do see the actions, the taunting ongoing.
And then another point goes to Adamson by that's a error there called in against NU. I think it's a crossing violation by Fuentes, if I'm not, yeah, it is Fuentes. Poor service from Competente. They are only 3 points away from getting set number 2.
Torres checks back into the game. And you can bet that when the ball returns to NU, Paglinawan will set it up to him. Arante, back set.
Oh, solid block. Paglinawan, single block. Very well read.
Now this could hurt for Adamson University. Remember, it started with that service error for going beyond the sideline by Kenneth Arante. Adamson had momentum, it was stopped, and you got going, and now they are down by just 1. Galang!
They would go to Galang from the back. It just goes to show that no matter which area or what part of the court Ronjay Galang is, he can still convert and do damage for the
And look at this.
Adamson.
The seats will fall down as the Bulldogs try to chase that ball.
One good receive lang tayo. Ha? Sa labas sa kabila. Ha? O, sige, play. Ikaw na dumiskarte. Okay? Kailangan natin maka-receive. Then, pag transition defense natin, kailangan maka-offense tayo ng maayos. Nawawala kasi yung transition defense natin, tapos para may convert sa offense eh. Huwag yung sayangin. Kakindihan, trabaho sa block mamaya. Okay? Natrabaho sa block. Isang receive lang. Bahala ka, Paul. Ha? Sige. Let's go! Diskarte kayo, Paul. Go, guys! Go, guys! Go! Pagkulan nyo!
Coach Dante trusting in his players here. Let's see what type of play Padua will set up here. All they need is just one good reception.
He has actually emphasized that a lot, how important the reception would be. You probably have seen also how they struggled in several plays. We know with the overset or with the misreceive. Service ace! And that would definitely boost up the confidence of Adamson.
And that's what Coach Dante was asking for. Just one good reception as we see this Shakey's Fast Serve brought to you by Shakey's Fun Family Pizza.
Off speed. Competente sets it up. Oh, solid block from Torres.
Torres had a lot of rest here in this set number 2. Look at the 3 guys from the NU side rise up for that block.
Sana lang yan. Gandahan nyo muna yung receive. Paayos ang receive para makapalo yung spiker. Para makapalo yung spiker.
Alay, tara, sa atin to!
Coach Domingo Custodio also emphasizing the importance of reception. In both of the timeouts, we can always hear how these two coaches emphasize on reception.
Yeah.
Very basic reminders for the players.
Reception of the game to serve Berlin Paglinawan.
All Adamson needs is one more point to bring things back to square one.
That's a good reception.
Arante, back set.
That's outside, but there's a check ball off the hands of the blocker. And the point goes to Adamson, and they win set number 2, 22-25.
That last point, courtesy of John Hendricks. Excuse me, Michael Sodaria. Referee says there was a check ball. So, Adamson University ties things up by taking the second set. You're watching the Final Four of the men's volleyball tournament of UAAP Season 75. Keep it right here on Studio 23 for set number 3. The men's volleyball Final Four, the UAAP Season 75. And we are back to square one where Adamson University took the second set 25 to 22.
And Adamson performed really well here in set number 2. Ron J. Galang still doing the damage for Adamson. They were actually behind at the start of set number 2 and slowly climbed up, gaining the lead up to their second technical timeout. And they continue to dominate. You know, it was actually that a crucial service error also, as we recall, that actually had the Bulldogs, catch up in the scores, but then they held on and eventually won.
Once again, thank you so much to everybody watching right now on Studio 23 for ABS-CBN Sports. I'm Anton Rojas. Joining me is Ivy Remulla. And one thing I have been wondering on the side of National University is why Torres sat on the bench for an extended period of time. He only came back late in that set, and it was too late for the Bulldogs as Adamson had already gained enough cushion to take that set.
It's probably an interesting strategy that the coach Dante might have had at that set. Although he was brought out when he was at the back line. So basically, probably, for the libero to replace somebody else in the receiving end.
Now on the Adamson side, the big adjustment for Coach Domingo Custodio was bringing in backup setter Kenneth Arante, who really changed the complexion of this game, Ivy.
Definitely changed it a lot, and it was in his entry in set number 2 that Adamson was able to gain the lead.
Remember, as we take a look at this Shakey's Fast Serve, brought to you by Shakey's Fun Family Pizza. Remember, early on in that second set, they were going almost exclusively to Ron J. Galang, and NU was already checking him. So with the entry of Arante, the ball was distributed more to the other guys.
Oh, good save there. Off the block. Ball still alive.
Popped up by Longavela. Ron J.
Galang slicing in between the two blockers.
And he is energized here in this third set. Ron J. Galang one more time. Flying high, getting it through that double block of NU.
If you have Ron J. Galang in front of you, you cannot afford to have any space in between blockers.
He has been the barometer all season for Adamson University.
A violation called up against Adamson. That's a net violation error. Point will be awarded to NU. Let's take a look at that last play. There is the violation. That's from Malion. Combination play, drop shot. Galang again successful in earning a point for Adamson.
And Galang has turned the Araneta Coliseum into his own personal playground.
And you can see the variation of Galang with his attacks. Now, he has given out all those strong hits, but he also had a couple of those dink shots that just keep the Bulldogs guessing.
Edwin Tolentino responding for National University. Team captain Ruben Inaldito now to serve.
Oh, that's a violation called against Adamson. Lifting violation. Inaldito with the help of the net scores for NU.
5-4 now. This third set is crucial. First round meeting, NU won in straight sets. Second round meeting, Adamson dealt NU its first defeat of the season, winning 3-1.
That's too close to the net.
And now, Mangulapnan may have tweaked his right ankle, stomping on it. He was also sent out late in that second set in favor of John Padua.
Good reception for Adamson.
Michael Sodaria.
Oh, that's inside, just making it to the line. Galang wasn't sure if he was going to get that one or not, but he basically had a hand at it already.
Great timing there by Vince Mangulapnan. 7-4. Again, NU trying to pull away. Ben Inaudito. They've had a lot of lucky serves this set, Ivy.
That's right. A drop shot there. Free ball given. Inaudito sets it up. Tolentino, free ball.
Some confusion there between Paglinawan and Tolentino.
Violation called against Adamson.
And Inaudito says it's my fault as we head into this technical timeout. Bulldogs on top, 8-4. Of ABS-CBN sports coverage of the men's volleyball Final Four, featuring this year's host, National University, the #1 ranked team, taking on Adamson. Back to square one as the Falcons were able to tie things up by taking the second set, 25-22, but National University trying to bounce back here in set number 3.
Competentes not happy with that last error he made. They are down by 5 points. Ben Inaudito from Aklan National High School for Arts and Trades, serving.
Well, let's see if that ongoing trend in this game wherein NU pulls away and Adamson inches closer until they're finally able to tie things up. Let's see if that trend will continue here in this third set, because that's what has happened so far in the first 2 sets.
That set was too low for Malion, and we have Ramirez now back in for Adamson. Inaudito has been serving for quite a while already. Off the block, saved by NU.
Tolentino popped up by Longavela. Ramirez back in the game. Mike Sodaria denied by Vince Mangulapnan.
Well-timed block from Vince Mangulapnan.
And now this is the biggest lead for any team here in this contest, Ivy.
That's right, a very comfortable lead for NU. Quick attack. Tolentino. NU is on fire here in set number 3.
And they're on fire despite Peter Torres not seeing much time on the court.
Tapon lahat. Kanya, mahirapan tayo. 8 yan. Okay. Receive nyo lang. Black, receive. Hahabol tayo yan. Hahabol pa yan. Habulin pa yan. Huwag nyo pabayaan na receive. Okay. Ito, come on, double convert. Kaya ko yan. Ito, okay, lang. Okay, go. Let's go. Understand.
Well, Coach Custodio realizing that the lead has ballooned, so he just tried to wake up his players once again.
But he did recognize the fact that it is going to be a long climb, to tie up.
And as I mentioned a while ago, I noticed that Torres hasn't been as fielded in as he was in that first set. Didn't see a lot of time on the court in that second set. Came back late to try and close it out. And here in the third set, we're seeing that continue. Torres staying on the bench.
Torres being at the back line. Probably we can attribute that to the fact that NU has has not rotated for quite a while already here in this set. And of course, Peter Denmar Torres as a backliner will not see action unless, you know, the rotation goes up to the front.
And again, that lead continues to balloon for National University.
You know, Dito has been at the service line, like I mentioned, for quite a while already.
Now, Coach Custodio making some adjustments, brings back in Malyapre. 14-4, biggest lead of the contest for National University.
Adamson's reception and defense has faltered here in set number 3. A better reception this time.
Ramirez sets it up. Malyapre diving was Ben Inaudito. Ramirez, quick attack, nothing there. Mangulabnan. Malyapre again, but he's denied.
Blocked. Excellent blocking from Fuentes and Mangulabnan. Well, it has been Mangulabnan who's been defending the net very well for NU.
We're seeing some great defense by the Bulldogs here in this third set. Ramirez, back set. And John Hendricks, Competente, finally ends that round by the Soaring Falcons.
And still Galang we can see at the back row for Adamson. Tolentino sends that outside.
Now, although National University has such a comfortable lead, Ivy, they cannot afford to relax, as they can really put the pressure on Adamson should they take this third set.
That's right. Again, that would be a clear advantage for NU if they win set number 3.
Because that would send Adamson into a do-or-die set wherein they will be fighting for their season.
More pressure then will be, of course, on Adamson. I think at this point, NU just needs to play a more relaxed game. You have to remember they are at the advantage here in this match.
But Adamson has scored 3 straight points. They have the momentum. Tolentino.
Oh, denied.
Make that 4 straight points now for Adamson.
And it looks like Adamson wants to get the same run that NU had earlier. We've seen Dito at the service line for quite a while before this rotation here from Adamson. And Competente has also been there for quite a while already for Adamson. Another good serve.
Mangulabnan sets it up. Tolentino once again. Finding the open spot on the back row. National University up by 8 as we head into this second technical timeout of the third set. Led by as high as 11 points here in this third set. And now the lead is 8 after that point by Edwin Tolentino.
And now Edwin Tolentino at the service line for NU.
Ramirez back set, nothing there. Mangulabnan sets it up.
A good coverage there from Adamson.
Mangulabnan, quick attack to Fuentes, nothing there. Fuentes sets it up, paglinawan. Popped up by Longavela. Ramirez!
That was an excellent save from Ramirez. Good defense also from Longavela. That was a very strong cross-court hit.
Nice move by Ramirez to direct that ball back towards the National University side. Armando Maleon.
Serving Armando
Coach Dante Alinsunurin. Coach Domingo Custodio. Number 1 versus number 4 in a men's volleyball Final Four. Service ace for Adamson. Number 2 team in terms of serving here in the UAAP men's tournament. 64 aces coming into this game.
Armando Maleon at the service line for Adamson. He's already in his last playing year.
Mangulubnan, combination play. Paglinawan flies in. Look at this. Nice decoy there, Fuentes. Paglinawan flies in. And just throws the back row coverage of Adamson. Ramirez, long back set. Mangulubnan, Torres, back in action.
Drop shot was saved by Galang. Malyapre off the block. Finally, that's against the tandem of Torres and Mangulubnan. Torres seemed surprised that that ball went through.
He's a little bit cold. Spending a lot of time on the sidelines.
We now have Ronde Galang at the front line for Adamson.
Expect him to heat up Torres.
The set was a bit too low for Torres.
Time out for the National University Bulldogs.
Pre, receive lang tayo. Receive lang tayo. Di ba ang instruction ko sa'yo? Pag set play o galing sa service o galing sa transition play natin, block natin, gitna ang pensa, bakit tumingin kayo ng dulo? Di ba yung sabi ko sa'yo? Pasukin mo ng gitna kasi doon tayo nakakapatay. Pag dinudun natin, malakas ang depensa nila. Okay? Transition defense natin, kaya tayo upensa, gitna. Okay? Kaintindihan ba? Nagkakaintindihan. Taas nyo. Pasukin natin ng gitna. Agresibo, ha? Let's go! Kaintindihan mo! Kaintindihan mo!
And when you say you want to attack from the middle, that only means one thing. You go to Peter Denmar Torres.
That's right, and Coach Dante has been recognizing the fact that, you know, Adamson is able to return the ball if they hit from both ends or from outside.
So let's see if Mangulubnan will do just that. Again, they go to the middle and it works. Following the instructions of Coach Dante Alinsunurin, Paglinawan comes in, goes for that drop shot. Ramirez, running attack there by Rodolfo Jardin.
Good execution for that running attack. Ramirez now at the service line for Adamson. Good serve.
Mangulubnan sets it up for Torres.
That was a good combination play.
Paglinawan, a miss hit
Straight
there.
into the net.
Remember, this lead was as high as 11. It is now just 4.
Adamson inching closer. Another good serve.
Torres!
Torres. Oh, that was outside.
He really is cold. After a sizzling start for Torres, spent a lot of time on the sidelines and ineffective here in this third set.
Well, that went outside from Ramirez. And you now with a 4-point lead, 19-15. Paglinawan at the service line.
It has been Berlin Paglinawan who has really piled up the scoring for National University here in this third set. And now Sonny Mark Tequico in the ball game. Ramirez back set. Galang.
Galang puts that in. Good decoy also from Ramirez. You would have thought that he's going to give that to his center attacker, and last minute changed his mind, giving a back set to Galang.
And now Adamson has come to within 3.
They would go to Torres, and they did.
And finally, Torres gets a kill. They need him to stay active.
But don't look now, Peter Torres is once again at the back row. And we will be expecting to see Peter Torres once again once he goes into the front line.
.20 serving 16 here in this crucial third set. Ramirez sets it up. Galang popped up by Mangulabnan. Tolentino tries to push it through that double block. Galang denied. Still alive for the Soaring Falcons. Galang hits it. Double block was there. Point for NU.
The call was outside.
Captain versus captain. On that last rally in Audito, getting the block on Galang, although that ball was moving towards the tape of the net. Nico Ramirez back set to the other side. Competente.
That's with a touch from the blockers. And the point goes to Adamson. Competente with only one blocker. Good eye from a referee. Good serve. Oh, that was a good touch shot from Audito.
So the captain making his presence felt here, not just on offense, but on defense as well.
Malayo pa yan, tatlo pa lang. Ano pa? Ha? Kaya pa yan, ha? Unti-untiin ninyo. Unti-unti. Ha? Okay. Trabaho din. Trabaho lang. Ha? Kaya ka, lima lang yun, ha? Kaya. Receive.
Adamson University again with Coach Domingo Custodio trying to stress the importance of good receptions to be able to set up their offense. 22 serving 17. NU trying to put the pressure on the Falcons should they take this crucial third set.
Good reception from Adamson. Combination play returned. Oh, it's a free ball. Combination. Tolentino and Fuentes. Fuentes basically had a hand at the blockers already, leaving Tolentino wide open.
What a play right here. Let's watch it one more time. Blockers falling down. Tolentino rising up. What a deceptive attack by National University. Malyapre
Off the block.
trying to get his team to respond, but Fuentes flying high for that easy kill.
Another good setup here for Fuentes. Mangulabnan making all his attackers look good here in this game. Solid block. That goes outside. The point goes to Adamson. NU is at set point. But we have seen Adamson similarly earlier in this set. They managed to catch up, almost tying up the score.
Came to within just 3 points of extinguishing that 11-point advantage that NU had earlier in this set. It's a free ball for the Falcons. Ramirez, who will he go to? Who else? Ron J. Galang.
Ron J. Galang converts for Adamson.
Just toss it up. He will go get it from anywhere. The best scorer in the UAAP men's volleyball tournament. But his team can't afford to make any mistakes here. As NU only needs 1 point. Will this be it? Fuentes, it goes out. So the Bulldogs, after that point by Rayson Fuentes, take a 2-1 advantage here in this Final Four matchup against Adamson. Will the Falcons stay alive and force a deciding 5th set? Find out when we come back. Keep it right here on Studio 23. UAAP Season 75 Men's Volleyball Tournament Final Four matchup between the #1 ranked National University, the hosts of this year's volleyball tournament, Adamson University ranked #4. Set number 3. The Bulldogs built an 11-point advantage behind the splendid playmaking of setter Vince Mangulapnan, really distributing the ball to everybody. But Adamson came back, came to within 3, but NU woke up once again and pulled away.
That's right, and we can see also how dominating the Bulldogs were in set number 3. They were very, very aggressive at the front of the net, and they've implemented a lot of those combination plays, which Adamson failed to answer to. And we've seen a lot of excellently executed attacks. And we've had the blockers of Adamson totally phased out. You know, they didn't know what happened. All of a sudden, the ball was being hit by another attacker from the NU side.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us for this exclusive ABS-CBN Sports coverage as we take a look at the statistics of that crucial set number 3.
It was pretty much a close fight for both of these teams, and as we can see, there's really not much of a difference in terms of in each area, but the errors have made a lot of difference there. And we can say that NU Bulldogs had done a tremendous job defending the front line.
We're greeting you from inside the historic Araneta Coliseum. I'm Anton Rojas. Beside me is Ivy Remulla. Adamson University now fighting to keep their season alive as it is NU with a twice-to-beat advantage, and they are 1 set away from making it to the finals.
Drop shot. Ball is still alive. This is a free ball from Adamson. Another combination play. The ball is still alive. This is good defense from Adamson.
Credit that nice dig by John Competente.
This is a good start for Adamson, showing much aggressiveness and coverage at the floor. Ramirez with a good serve.
And a poor reception on the NU side. 64 service aces coming into this game, number 2 in the UAAP. Adamson very deadly from that service line. Nico Ramirez.
Better reception this time. The set was too low for Torres. Well, that was blocked. Ramirez sets up Galang. Oh, Galang sends it outside, but there was a touch from the blocker. Ron J. Galang has mastered the art of the check ball.
And he has that look in his eye that he wants to take over here in set number 4. He has that ability. Remember, he took over set number 2, really fueling the Falcons to equalize things. And Galang rushing to his position. But Ramirez sets it up to Competente. It goes long.
Those are the kind of errors that Adamson should avoid. Oh, he was probably trying to hit the hands of the blocker. Could be aiming for a check ball as well. That goes into the net. Mark Torres. That's Peter Denmark Torres. Not as fired up as he was
In the first set.
in the first set.
Yeah, he was real fired up there. Really made his presence felt immediately, but then, as I was mentioning, very cold, as he spent a lot of time on the sidelines in sets 2 and 3.
Off speed, and then we would expect this quick attack. Once more they go to Galang. Drop shot.
This time NU is ready for it.
Another drop shot. Good coverage. Tolentino off the block.
Rally still ongoing.
Competente off the block. Good distribution here from Ramirez.
Now this is a good start for Adamson because they're letting NU know that they're not just going to lie down and give this one away. They are fighting for their lives right now, Ivy.
And it is a good fight being put up here by Adamson. And we have to remember, folks, that NU has a twice to beat advantage. So Adamson would definitely have to win this game for that chance for the championship. Tolentino, and that's off the block. Ramirez gives out a quick attack. They go to the back.
Still alive.
Oh, a free ball given by Adamson. Oh, violation called against Adamson. That's a net violation error. Well, these can be costly.
Take a look at it one more time. Mangulapnan sets it up for Rayson Fuentes. Oh, he touched the net. So a point for National University.
It's Edwin Tolentino at the service line. Well, that's a good service. Competente.
Had to adjust. Mangulapnan had to go low for that set.
Oh, the ball is still alive.
And Fuentes with a kill at the top of the net. Fuentes is deadly from there.
Miscalculation there from Malion. And it's still Edwin Tolentino at the service line for NU. Good serve. Galang. That was blocked, but that goes outside. Ronjay Galang really making use of the blockers of NU.
Six to 4. Adamson University trying to force a deciding fifth set. You are watching the men's Final Four of the UAAP. Following this matchup, number 2 ranked FEU, the defending champions, take on number 3 De La Salle University Green Spikers.
Competente sends it outside once again. Adamson's lead now down to 1. Your score is 6-5.
Ruben Inaudito now to serve for NU. Oh!
Straight into the net. Opportunity for Adamson. That gives them a free point. Competente serving now for Adamson.
Very close. Fourth set we are witnessing.
That goes off the block.
Longavela unable to keep the rally going. Now Torres back in action at the front row. Let's see if NU can maximize his presence there. Ramirez trying to take matters into his own hands. Torres getting checked here.
Well, miscommunication here for Adamson. Paglinawan. So that's inside.
Paglinawan's working hard.
And again, Adamson would need to concentrate on their reception and their defense.
He's got to be the player of the game so far for National University. Berlin Paglinawan has been very active, putting a lot of effort into his attacks. And look at those blocks.
It was a 3-man block there for NU.
And NU takes the lead, and they are hoping to close it out in this set number 4. Adamson University fighting for their lives here in this 4th set, the do-or-die set for them, as they are already down 2-1 here in this first encounter between them here in the Final Four. NU, of course, owns that twice-to-beat advantage.
That's a lot of pressure for Adamson now. They have to win this match for them to be able to stretch it out and have a chance to fight in that championship match.
Team captain Ron J. Galang, his hit goes long, playing in his final season, perhaps his final game, should Adamson go down today, Ivy.
And definitely Ron J. Galang would want to put all-out energy in today's match. And the point goes to Adamson with that service error. We have number 11, Armando Malion, serving for Adamson. Good serve.
Paglinawan.
Oh, sends that outside as well. Too much force for Paglinawan.
So we are all tied up here in set number 4 at 9-all.
Oh, poor reception from Tolentino. Adamson regains the lead. Their score is 9-10.
Armando Maleon also playing in what could be his final game. Adamson needing to try and force a deciding matchup here in this Final Four pairing between them and NU, but Torres has other plans.
It wasn't the strongest of hits for Torres, but then again, it is a point for NU.
Hang time by Peter Denmar Torres.
Running hit.
Oh!
Mahulapnan. It's as if he knew it would be a point as soon as his hands touched that ball.
Sophomore setter Vince Mangulapnan.
He didn't even take a look at that hit, and he knew it was a point.
Already the best setter in the UAAP in just his 2nd year. Last year's Rookie of the Year.
That was off the block. Still alive. Oh, Torres with that quick hit.
And the other Rookie of the Year, Torres, going at it.
And once again, Torres is alive, making his presence felt.
Season 74 Rookie of the Year, the Season 73 Rookie of the Year. Torres is pumped up.
Hindi na naman tayo nagre-receive eh. Ayos.
Si Ron J doon.
Okay.
Paikutin nila isa. Jay,
Jet,
paano ng backline?
yung bigay mo, yung hulog mo, tapat. Tayo mo sa tao.
Isa.
Harap ka na puso.
Isang paikot lang pare, ha?
Okay, sige. Go. Dalawa lang yan.
There will be 4 players who could be playing their final game today. Ron J. Galang, 2-time best digger Gilbert Longavela, Armando Maleon, and John
Hendricks competent.
Yeah.
That's right. So a lot
Those
of
are
loss.
four starters, Ivy.
That's right. A big loss for Adamson University this year.
That is why they have that. They have to have that sense of urgency
John Maliapre.
And Malyapre feels that sense of urgency with that last attack. That goes off the block. NU unable to keep that alive. But in contrast, actually, National University has a pretty much intact team.
Yeah.
Mostly everybody who's playing this year will still be seeing action in the next season.
You know, we could see a dynasty in the making here in National University, as they have very young and talented core, especially with that combination of Mangolabnan and Torres.
And this is another perfectly executed combination play. Look at how NU slices up the blockers of Adamson with those combination attacks.
Galang.
Oh, that was still alive.
And now the Bulldogs are feeling it as they are trying to pull away. Galang. Look at that wall of blockers for the Bulldogs. Galang
once again.
He wants
And the
to check
point
ball.
goes to Adamson. There is a check ball called against NU. Oh, we really do have sharp eyes here for our referees.
Yeah. Let's take a look at it one more time.
Well, the ball was too fast for us to see. Oh, that goes off the block. No coverage for Adamson. NU with a 3-point lead, 15-12.
Ben Dito, the captain, adjusting in the air, pulling back and firing it through. Ramirez sets it up. Galang.
Off the block once again.
Galang is leaving everything on the floor, Ivy.
That's right. Galang working very hard for Adamson, doing everything for Adamson.
Well, he has tried to carry Adamson on his shoulders all season. The best scorer in the UAAP, Ron J. Galang. This could be the final day of his high-flying act in the UAAP. National University hoping to make it to the finals for the first time in the Final Four era. They are up 16-13. We'll be back. (16-13). Will this be the last game for four graduating seniors on the Adamson side? Galang, Longavela, Maleon, and Competente. Edwin Tolentino and the rest of the Bulldogs hoping that they can finish the job here. But Galang wants to go out with guns a-blazing. Doesn't care whether there are blockers. He will try to power his way through.
NU continues to lead here in set number 4. Edwin Tolentino at the service line.
Balanced scoring attack from the NU side.
Competente off the block. Let's take a look at that last hit. Competente trying to make things work for Adamson here. Ron J. Galang now at the back row. Good serve. Service ace for Ron J. Galang.
(301 points, 260 spikes, 17 service aces coming into this game for the league's best scorer, Ron J. Galang.
And it wouldn't be surprising that even after, if Adamson, let's say, does not make it to the further, it wouldn't be surprising if he still remains to be the top scorer.
He's miles ahead of everybody. National University, though, staying composed. in their first Final Four appearance in 5 years.
Dito for the serve. Good serve, better reception for Adamson. Oh, this is going to be a free ball. But that's too wide. Those are sorry mistakes for a free ball, and you can see the unhappy look on Coach Dante's face.
You don't want to give Adamson hope if you're National University.
Definitely, because Adamson, they've shown how difficult also they can make the lives of their opponents are once they've already given into their momentum.
Coach Dante thinking about calling that timeout, shaking his head.
And he clearly was not happy with that error from the free ball. Another good serve right here. Oh, better reception this time.
Smart thinking by Vince Mangulapnan.
And then again, as soon as the ball touched his hand, it's as if he knew that it would be a point right away.
Great peripheral vision by the setter, Vince Mangulapnan. Ramirez pops it up. Torres could not get that block point. Rally still ongoing. Berlin Paglinawan. Bitin lang.
A bit short on that attack. But he had the right thing in mind. But he wasn't able to execute it the way he wanted it to be. Malion here at the service line now for Adamson. Good serve. Excellent reception. Paglinawan once again off the block.
That time decided to go down the line. No, we really have a lot of talented setters here in the men's volleyball tournament, guys who can attack as well.
Mangulapnan, they're really making things easy for the Bulldogs.
Ramirez sets it up. Galang popped up there. Longavela. Ramirez back set. Torres is there up top.
Torres with a running hit.
And the Bulldogs are just 4 points away from their first finals appearance in the Final Four era of the UAAP. Running attack. Torres goes cross court.
Another running attack also for Adamson, but this one is sent out wide.
Now, Coach Custodio calls for time.
Unti-unti lang, ha? Ingat lang. Gilbert, saan ka?
Layo pa yan.
Ayos, kapit o, tatlo pa yan. Agad pa yan, malayo pa yan. Ha? Okay. Ayos.
Ikaw na isa, ikaw lang. Para makapag-isa.
Super, ha? Ayun pa sa titapo ng bola. Ha? Okay, sige.
You can really see the faces of the graduating players. Gilbert Longavela, John Competente, trying to rev up the team and fight their way out of this deficit.
But 5 points really is not if you really look at it, it's not really very far off. But Adamson really has to play a very flawless volleyball from this point onwards. No errors, and they really have to be on their toes, just like that last block from Hardin.
And the block on Torres, no less. Perhaps the confidence boost they need.
And this is a good rotation now for Adamson. Ronjay Galang back at the front line. Good serve.
What a time for that to happen. But Torres doing his best work Let's take a look at it one more time. The combination of Vince Mangulapnan and Peter Torres. It has been deadly here today. Ronje.
Oh, Galang. So keeping Adamson alive.
Laser beam hit there by Ronje Galang. Doesn't matter if there were 3 blockers from the NU side, he gets it through.
And again, no room for errors here for Adamson.
Inaudito. That's in.
Makes it to the line. Inaudito. And it is the National University 1 point away from winning this match. A step closer to the championship.
Their first ever finals appearance in the Final Four era. I said it a while ago, we could be witnesses to a changing of the guard here in the men's volleyball tournament of the UAAP. Will NU make it to the finals in the year that they are hosting the volleyball tournament? Here we go. Nico Ramirez sets it up. Ronje Galang.
Straight into the antenna. And NU wins this match in 4 sets. And is 1 step closer to this year's championship.
They are in search for their first ever men's volleyball crown. And now they are 2 wins away from attaining that.
And the NU has really worked very hard, in this match and in all other games. Very impressive record as well here for the Bulldogs. And we can say that they do deserve to be playing there in the championships.
They've been the best team in the men's volleyball tournament here in season 75. They eliminate the Adamson Soaring Falcons, a veteran team with the likes of Galang and Longabella. As you see the set scoring here, 25-22. They lost the second set, 22-25, but then they closed things out, winning sets 3 and 4, 25-19 and 25-20.
Well, we can say that this was a very close match.
Yeah.
We have seen how Adamson has really made things difficult as well for NU. So this was not a walk in the park for the Bulldogs. And but we could, at the end of the day, we could really say it was a convincing win for NU.
It's always a handful to deal with. The best scorer in the UAAP, Ronje Galang, who averages over 21 points per game. And our Shakey's best player, brought to you by Shakey's Fun Family Pizza, is none other than the reigning Rookie of the Year. Of course, that is Vince Mangulapnan.
He played very well today with 7 points, 5 attacks. That is for a setter, Anton, and 2 blocks. And 31 excellent sets. And we do have to give credit to Vincent Mangulapnan for making things easy for all the attackers for the Bulldogs.
And he is expected to be awarded with the Best Setter Award in just his sophomore season here in the UAAP. So congratulations to National University. They make the finals for the first time in the Final Four era. But up next, Ivy, we have the other matchup in the men's volleyball Final Four, featuring the defending champions FEU as they take on De La Salle University. Your thoughts on that matchup, Ivy?
Well, I think this would be another exciting match here. The defending champions in De La Salle University would definitely want to get that crown from the Tamaraws. So this is another game to watch out for.
So stay tuned and keep it right here on Studio 23 for that second Final Four matchup. On behalf of our director, Raul De Ocampo, my partner, Ivy Remulla, I'm Anton Ross saying thank you so much for tuning in to our exclusive ABS-CBN sports coverage of the UAAP.